Well, hello and welcome people internet to Conquest Dark, a new bullet heaven that has a lot of RPG elements to it, and I think that this one has a lot going for it. Now, one of the things going for it, if you guys do decide to check out the Steam page, and this might be a turnoff to some of you guys, is that there will be a notification that there is frequent nudity or sexual content in this game. This one definitely falls under the frequent nudity. Now, that being said, there is a way to turn it off if you don't want any of that in your game. For the most part, does it need to be there? Absolutely not. I think it's just kind of one of those degenerate things because this is being published by Mad Mushroom, the guys over at OTK. Asmongoldstream is actually how I found this game. But if that's something, you know, you got kids in the room or something like that, or you're under 18 because kids under 18 shouldn't be seeing that stuff, you can definitely turn that off. The game itself is actually pretty good from what I've experienced so far. So let's actually just go ahead and jump right in. The two skulls here are going to be two different bosses. The way the game plays out is it's a bit more map-based, so rather than just having like one map that we constantly go into, we're going to defeat the gates of Carathia and then go into the next location, and so on, and expand the map. After we defeat each boss, we're going to get different drops, which we'll take a look at later, but let's just go ahead and begin the ritual. So right off from the start, you might think, oh, wow, we even have characters. This would be where the nudity is. So if you have the nudity filter off, these characters would be completely naked, schlong and all. But obviously we have it on here for YouTube. So each character is going to have different proficiencies as well as different bonuses here. They're typically not going to be all the same like this. Let's actually reroll, see if we can get some differences. There we go. So we have like Savage Tactics, two-handed weapons. We have heavy armor and shields, I guess we'll go for the two-handed weapons. So bleed rate. Let's talk about bleed rate here in a second. Yeah, we're going to go Savage Uprising. First thing we got to do is take out the skeleton. So this skeleton is how we get our first weapons. And unfortunately, we just have bows here, no two-handed weapons, which is a little unfortunate. The two-handed weapons I have found are a bit more rare. I've actually only seen them once out of a couple of playthroughs. We'll take the hunter's bow here. So the way that the bleed chance, what that is, so you see up here my health bar times 10. There is health and there is life. We have 10 lives, and each life has like 100 health. Basically, as you take damage, those lives are going to go away. Once you hit 0, you pop back up to 10, and then you start bleeding. And that bleed is going to deal you damage over time. So you kind of have two overall lives, and each live has separate lives. As we level up, we're going to be able to get different class masteries here, which are just kind of passives. I think here I'm going to take the dodge charges and health generation. So dodge is used a little bit differently in this game. There is movement abilities and there is dodge. So on the screen here, there are the teal arrows and the gray arrows. The teal arrows are movement charges, so that being dashes. Dodge, as you saw there, I didn't take damage. For every dodge charge you have a guarantee dodge from damage. So you have a couple different ways you can evade damage. Here, let's go ahead and take the power shot, I think. We can choose either. Energy cost is the blue bar that's underneath our health, which you can't see right now. But as we do basic attacks, that charges up. And then once we get to full energy, we launch off an attack. That being our power shot. There are going to be different passives that we can pick up as well. Right now, this is a power ability, but there are passive abilities. We're also going to be able to pick up armor and such. So that is why we're not wearing any clothes at the moment. And that's kind of the RPG aspect where... so we picked our weapon, which, of course, the weapon is going to dictate like what kind of abilities we get. But the armor is also going to be beneficial to us and give us some other stat bonuses. So here we go. And this guy is same thing, right? He has health bars. We take out these, we chunk them down. Nice. We get some resources. We get a class mastery. Here we're going to take projectile amount. So there's a 20% chance that we're going to get, I believe, so it could work either way. There's a couple different ways. It could work in which this gives a 20% chance to have a multi-shot, or it could work every 5 attacks you get a multi-shot. That's a way that some other games have done this. So here's some armor here. We can choose what boots we want. We don't have any... I'm actually going to go for the Stalker boots for movement speed and crit hit chance. There's no reason to go for the 50% crit damage since we don't have any crit chance. We can actually take a look here at our stat sheet, which has a ton different stats here. We have character power, offense, defense, utility, all that kind of stuff. We talked about bleed rate. Yes, we did do that. Unfortunately, we didn't get the two-handed weapons, which is a little bit unfortunate that you have to pick your character and then pick the weapon, but we just don't have any rerolls yet. Once we get rerolls and, of course, unlock more weapons, you know, we'll be able to match up our character with what type of weapon we're using in the future. But right now, pretty short map, right? Only 10 minutes. I'm assuming that's going to get longer as we move forward. And as you can see, there's some physics in the game. Let's go for, right, so movement charge, that's our teal arrows. So that's like dodging charge speed, right? It would typically be called dodge, but because dodge is something else in this game, it's called movement charge. We're going to take the aim shots, though. Extra damage to healthy enemies and an extra projectile pierce. Mostly looking for the pierce. The damage is, you know, a little bit helpful, but it's like one of those things where it's only going to help us right at the start of an enemy. Right, because once he takes damage, well, then we don't get the boost. But yeah, pretty small arena. I'm not sure if the arenas get bigger as we move through the game. But there is going to be a lot of cool stuff that we can kind of go unlock and customize our characters once we actually complete even just this first run. This is actually an exciting one. It's one that I have not heard of, but I just came across it. I was going through some of Asmongold's videos looking for something to listen to while I was out for a drive. Every 3 seconds, shoot 3 arrows towards the closest nearby enemy, dealing 75 to 125% solar damage, or every 2 seconds if no air. Generates energy? I don't think I necessarily need that. Let's go for burst shot. And he had a video up on his channel that was called, this bullet heaven's like made by one person or whatever. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. Crit hit damage, primal damage. So our bow is doing primal damage. So we could, in theory, take that. We also have power shot, which is doing primal damage. Attack reach, I'm not so concerned with. The bonus health we could do. Could take the crit hit damage, which our crit rate right now is only 10%. I think I'm just going to take this Savage Bracer, so we at least get the primal damage on here. We also get some extra resistance, too. And so the reason that we're not wearing any clothes is as we take armor, it is going to be applied to our character. So there is somewhat of a reason for us to be a little bit degenerate here. Alright, so we can get attack speed, we can go for more projectiles, or we can go for... I think I'm going to go for attack speed here, though. That'll also increase our energy generation, so we can use our power shot more often. It's almost like a little bit of a 2-for-1. I'm not sure how you guys feel about the sound of all the bones. I think it's super satisfying. I do. It's just one of those things, I just like the rattle effects. What I also think is super nice that they've done here, and mostly I'm thinking about this because there was another game, oh man, what game was it that we just played? Where, oh, it was Brutus Maximus, that because of all your attacks, like if you're playing an archer, all your attacks are coming from your bow. They kind of go into a queue system where you can't use a basic attack and an ability at the same time, which I was not a big fan of. I'm going to go for projectile amount here. Whereas this, I mean, she's firing off multiple different attacks at the same time, which is super nice. So it's not like you can only use one attack at a time. You can just fire off as many attacks as you see fit. As many as you build up. Now, of course, all these at the top are going to be for meta progression. And we'll take a look at that here, of course, after we beat the first level here. But we got our first boss, the Bone Colossus. He's got 10 bars of health. Shouldn't be that tough to take out. Looks like he's just doing some AoE damage all around us. Which actually, we should probably stay a little bit close to him, so that way our kind of spread shot Rather than hitting him just 1 or 2 times, hits him the full 3. There we go. Bone Colossus is defeated. We get the currency. We get more armor. What do we want here? Crit hit damage. Let's go for this. This has crit hit chance. So I want more critical hit. I feel like taking the reduced bleeding is just kind of like you're well, for no pun intended, you're stemming the bleeding. It's like you're playing to not lose rather than playing to win. Okay, so we could take, let's see, improved dash that has a shorter cooldown. We don't really need that. So we're going to take one of these. Leap forward and land, dealing primal damage to all enemies around you. So this is more if you're going for like a melee character. We're going to go for disengage. Quickly move towards the direction of your movement. So this could be either towards enemies or away. Shooting 3 arrows, each dealing primal damage and generating 15 energy per target hit. So it's going to be a great way for us to deal, you know, get more energy so that way we get our power shot off more often. Of course, it's just also extra damage that we have tied to our dash now. And what is this up here? I'm not sure what this is. Maybe it's saying that our character is a ranged character. Now, the UI itself, I feel like is okay. Like, these over here, totally fine. The currency up here, fine. All this stuff is fine. The movement abilities and dodges, I feel like could be clarified a little bit. Because I'm going to be honest, when I did a couple test runs, I didn't fully understand what both of those bars were actually doing. There's actually a very good, not tutorial, but system of menus in the game. I'm going to take the... Yeah, let's just go survival tactics. That's totally safe. We're not really going to have an issue clearing this map. But if you come into Game Guide, there's actually a huge breakdown here of everything. So, for example, if we went to movement dodge charges, this is what taught me the difference. So if you want to go through and kind of learn, like a lot of this I haven't actually fully read. But that's actually very helpful to kind of explain all the differences, because I was very confused why I had an extra bar here. I kept, because like in my head, I'm thinking of dodges like typical dashes in Bullet Heavens. And so I was like, I don't really understand the difference. And so I went through and read that game guide. I was like, oh, this is just completely different than what I'm used to. And thankfully there was an explanation there. More crit hit chance and more move speed. Chance spot, and I don't really care about the healing soul. And I don't care about any of this, so we're just going to go full offense and go Stalker Harness. But from what I've seen, excuse me, wow, my voice. From what I have seen so far, I've only completed the first level here, just as the test, just to test to see what was going on here. But from what I experienced after the fact, and like I said, we'll take a look at this after we complete the first level. But right now, in terms of what actives and passive abilities I have, you know, we don't really have much unlocked, and that's kind of what you would expect to see. But as we actually go through, do more maps and all that, it does seem like there's going to be a lot more, range to kind of customize your characters and how you play them. You know, obviously there's going to be different abilities that we unlock, and so that'll kind of open up the pool of what your character can do. We're kind of maxed out with the actives and passives that we have, because I think there's only like 4 actives. I could be wrong about that, and it's like half of them are for melee. So we kind of just have what we have. I mean, I guess we have the Lunar Shot and we have the Ricochet. So I think those are the 4 we have. So other than that, we're just going to take out this boss here. It's not too tough. He doesn't really do anything other than swing around these morning stars on chains. And we got more than enough health here to kind of, you know, whittle him down. I mean, he's already to, you know, 1 bar left. You can also swap between auto aim or manual aim if you want. I have auto aim turned on. This doesn't really matter because we're done here. We're just going to collect up our resources, and we just have to last for another 2 minutes. So I guess it does matter. I was thinking that was the end. Nope, just got to survive another 2 minutes. And that shouldn't be a challenge for us at all. Level up. Let's go ahead and take... I'm actually going to take the movement recharge rate, especially since we can use that offensively now. Yeah, so you can see right now I have no dodge charges. Now I have a dodge charge. Then I just used dodge right there, and that went down. Which, that's a nice little system. That's not something... I don't think I've seen a system like that in a Bullet Heaven yet before. Yeah, see, so now... Well, actually, why are we, an enemy must have made us bleed, because we were not even close to 0 life left. And I don't know yet if... Well, actually, to be fair, this might be a timed thing, because I recall this happening when I was doing my test run as well. And I wasn't sure how to get rid of the bleeding. So I think this might be like a, hey, you're at the end of the run. We're going to make it just a little bit more challenging for you. That might be the case. But I can't confirm that. Now, I have a feeling here at the end, so these guys all spawn in. And you can see as we die, we just get skinned alive. I'm wondering here if there's going to be, if there's like some challenge to, if you can actually kill these guys, you get something cool. Almost like in Vampire Survivors, right? If you kill the, what is it? If you kill Death or the Reaper. All right, so ritual concluded. We get a bunch of these soul fragments. We get soul coins. And then this is the stuff that we saw at the bottom of the screen when we entered the map. So we discover a new location where you can perform the dark ritual. So that's the second location. Band of the Lion and Band of Primal Power we'll take a look at here once we get back to the map. Altar, or wait. Artifacts. No, this is different. We'll look at Altar of Cunning. That's what we'll look at. And then we have these additional loot soul fragment. I haven't really looked into what these are yet. So they can now drop from random enemies and have a guaranteed chance to drop from elites and bosses. Drop chance and rarity of fragments is affected by chance for rare item stat. Oh, and these are the soul fragments, I believe. Or no. Maybe? Armor items now have a chance to roll with increased stats. This chance... Oh, wait. So this is soul fragment. Okay. Got it. Okay, I understand. So now these soul fragments can drop from any enemies. And they've guaranteed drop. Okay, understand. Okay, so now we have completed the gates of Carathia. We got 2 more altars up here, and then Sorceress's Fall. So this is the new location we open. So Altar of Cunning is where we can spend these soul fragments. I'm assuming there's going to be more of these altars around. Right now, we can offer them up for some additional crit chance. There we go. We also have Band of the Lion. So Band of the Lion is a faction which we can level up by playing either a barbarian or hunter character. As we get kills, just like our character gets experience, we will also get some experience if we are playing one of these classes. When we do so, once we reach level 5, we'll unlock some weapons. We'll also we'll get some soul coins as a reward, so on and so forth. Once we get to 10, 15, 20, we'll get some different stuff. So that's going to be our goal, to play either a barbarian or hunter. We also have the Stygian Archive, which we can look down here, or you can hit tab to enter. So we have some general power-ups, which we can grab. We also have, let's see, so we have things like weapon sets. So it looks like it says set, but I guess it maybe just means weapon. Okay, so power abilities. This is where you can kind of customize stuff. So for example, let's take a look at the power shot, because we were using that before. We can click on power shot, and then we can unlock different tiers. So let's go ahead and do that. It uses our silver currency up here, and then we can choose, do we want projectile split chance, or do we want a double shot chance? And we can choose one of these. I'm going to take the double shot chance, and there we go. Boom, it's leveled up. So now it has a 1 there instead of a dash. We could also go to, let's see, we're going to go for try and go for a melee build. I'm not sure if it's actually going to come about. So let's go for Seismic Slam. Let's go ahead and unlock that, because if I can get it, that's what I want to go for. Let's go ahead and go for Attack Reach. I'm assuming that's going to increase the area of effect. And then let's also do... what else do we want to do? Whirlwind. Let's unlock that, and let's go for Attack Reach there as well. Alright, so now we go to Sorcerer's Fall. Same thing here. We got 2 bosses. We also have this. So this must be when you complete... so it's 2 bosses, then when you complete the ritual. You get a bunch of stuff. We'll take a look at that once we beat it. No spoiling ourselves. Okay, so... let's re-roll this, because it's literally all the same. Two-handed weapons, which is kind of what we want to go for. We do want to go for a melee character. So let's take a look. Reduce bleed rate, two-handed weapons, proficiency there, and proficiency with savage tactics. And of course, barbarian, we only have hunter or barbarian here. Let's go ahead and beat this guy up. Hopefully we can get some melee weapons, try to melee build. Oh, and we do. Okay, so let's take the Ravager's Axe, since we have proficiency in two-handed weapons, or dual-wielding weapons. We're a bit slower here, definitely. Yeah, so the FXP, so now we have a second experience bar, this purple bar. And that is going to be the experience for our faction. And we can also see our faction level up here. So we have faction character. So I'm assuming that there are going to be different classes, or at least different races. Because if we go to... I forgot what it was called, but that icon that was down here that we got into the menu, when we actually do that, there is a race category, so I would assume that there's going to be other races with other classes, and then of course other factions. Attack speed increase per life lost. Okay, crit hit chance damage increase to injured enemies. I like that. I also really like the... man, I like all of these. Let's go for primal strength. I feel like that's pretty good. Get some crit. Also, especially when we're going against bosses, they're going to be injured like all the time, so we just get basically flat increased damage to bosses. Seismic Slam. That's... yeah, that's the one we upgraded, so let's take that. It does say tier 1 right on it, so extra attack reach. So I would assume this was a system that I didn't fully understand when I first started playing. So you can see that the energy cost is 40. Now obviously that gets spent once we get up to max energy. I'm not 100% certain how it works. I'm assuming... actually, you know what? I didn't mean to skip that. God dang it. Okay, so if we go in here, let's go to... where is energy? Where is energy? It's in here somewhere. Is it under attacking? No. Health and life. Character levels? No. Movement, dodge? No. Base... resistance, proficiencies, armor, abilities. Once your energy bar is filled, the energy cost unique for each power ability. Can only have one power ability at a time. Oh! Oh, I see how it works. Interesting. So you can only have one power ability at a time. Okay. So then likely what it means is that whatever your energy cost is how long it takes to charge. Okay, that makes sense. The reason why I was confused before is because it says energy cost, right? So I was thinking, okay, well, what if I have 2 abilities? Like, how does that work? What if I only have like 50 energy and I have one that costs 40 and one that costs 20? How does that balance itself? But that makes total sense. You can only have 1 power ability. Bonus health, damage reduce. We took some crit, did we not? Where was our crit chance? We're at 8% crit chance. We could just take 50% extra crit hit damage. I kind of like attack speed, though. Let's just take flat attack speed. That's going to help us out up against the little shitters, too. Crit hit chance. Ooh, that's for, and all damage. Heck yeah. We also get attack reach or crit hit chance. I'm just going to go for all damage for sure. Soul fragment. Okay, crit hit damage, attack speed, or primal damage. We are doing primal damage. I think I'm just going to go for attack speed, though. Okay, so we got some purple boys. I'm guessing purple boys give... No, I was going to say, I would assume they give more FXP. But I'm not sure. Maybe it's just indicating that they're higher level enemies. Oh, you know what it might be? I think it means that there's a dodge on that character. Yep, purple means that there's a dodge on the character. We also did just get a faction level. Although that's not really going to benefit us until we get up to 5. Right, because these are passive abilities. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna take Whirlwind since it's the one we leveled up. We get a soul fragment. Block chance, rerolls, chance to spawn an XP soul. Gonna reroll. Let's go for barrier mount. So now we're gonna be able to get a shield on our character. Movement speed, chance. Let's go movement speed and crit hit chance, or crit hit damage. Excuse me. Yeah, so now we have a barrier, and you'll see that there's a little barrier icon on our health as well. Oh, gotta get that. Gotta get that. Gotta get that silver coin. I don't know. What the frick are these called again? Silver something or other. Yeah, primal strength seems pretty good. We could also go for attack reach and attack arc, but I think here I'm just gonna go for more damage, more crit chance. All right, so we're starting to get some different. Oh wait, what are the feet? Interesting. It's a cool little design. Another Band of the Lion level. Nice. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have time to get up to level 5, but maybe on the next map. Maybe on the next map. Brutality. We could just go for more attack speed. I think I'm okay with that. Let's just go for more attack speed. Then we get our seismic slam off more often. Ooh, Arcane Guardian. Turn back or become one with dust. You're gonna become the one that's dust. Idiot. Alright, let's take out some of these mage boys. This is bullet heaven, not a bullet hell. Now, one thing I will mention here. Bosses in this game probably need a little bit of work. That boss just literally did nothing. I mean, he was shooting out stuff, but for the most part, like, he wasn't really doing anything. Okay, we're re-rolling here. Soul attract range, movement speed, I mean, 5% crit hit chance. Let's go. Band of Primal Power. Your crit strikes have a 50% chance to become a mega critical strike, dealing 10 times the... Okay. Chance to spawn a healing soul, don't really care. Movement speed and primal damage. Yep, we'll go with the Stalker Cat. Yeah, the bosses themselves do seem a little anemic as far as what they do. I'm wondering if that's going to change the farther... I'm assuming that'll change the farther down we get. Maybe they just do more damage, but... That boss kind of didn't do anything. Honestly, these mages are more of a problem for me than the boss was. Sig Leap. Oh, heck yeah. Yep, that's sweet. We gotta get some regen on our character, too. That would be helpful. Another thing I would like to see, because this is actually the first time that I've played with this. As far as UI goes, the artifact down here, I don't think makes a lot of sense to put with your abilities. So artifacts, I would like to see in a different spot. I mean, you could put them on either side of the map. I wouldn't really care. You could put them up here. That would probably make a little bit more sense to put them up here. So that way you're not like scanning all the way around the screen. Like the passives here are totally fine. But yeah, artifact I don't feel like goes with abilities at all. I would like to see that in a different spot. Oh my god, look at all the mage boys. Look at all the mage boys. We can take a little bit of resilience. Why not? Reduce a little bit of the damage we're taking. Yeah, like the bosses are just kind of like slowly turning around, not really doing anything. So hopefully that changes. We have more attack reach. I don't think I really care. I think I'm just going to go for, again, crit hit chance and primal damage. I mean, it's a +1 item, and it's both things that we want. I don't... Let's see, attack force. Let's see, can we find that? Where is attack force? Attack force. So what is this doing? I would assume maybe this is damage being dealt. So let's see. If we're currently at 35 to 105% primal damage, maybe it's not that. Maybe it generates more energy. If we come up here, advanced mechanics. Is there anything in here about that? Blocking barrier conditions, no. Health and injured, no. Oh, well, here's that projectile amount that I was talking about, so that explains that. Crit hits, abilities. Armor, proficiencies, no. Reflect damage, oh, base damage, maybe? Attacking. No. Health and life, no. Okay, so I'm not sure about... There is power here. Was that what we picked up? Was it attack power? No, attack force. Maybe that's knockback? Not sure. Wow, that's stalker wraps. Okay, yep, we're going with this. All damage and primal damage. Yeah, so another thing I would like to see is maybe... I mean, there's a lot of stats here to really put, like, descriptions on everything, so it's kind of tough to justify, like, you know, putting a tooltip on each one of these. But some of them I feel like need it, you know, like attack force. A lot of these are pretty straightforward, though. It's just because force is kind of a general term. But again, I think it's... I'm probably going to assume at this point it's just knockback. I'm going to go with Berserker's Rage here. Since we're at lower than half life. Not that I think we're in any, like, trouble here. Because even if we get down to 0, we still have a whole nother another life to go. The Fallen Sorceress. Alright, what are you going to do? You're going to keep spinning around in circles? Oh, you're going to teleport. Okay, that's something slightly different. You're still just blasting out, your shotgun blasting three things here, but other than that, you're not really doing all that much. Yeah, that was kind of not a scary thing. Should go for attack reach. But we're still not done. The work is still not done. We've still got to survive. And I will survive. Keep going for just crit hit damage. I'm assuming that these red orbs that are dropping are the healing orbs. That looks to be the case. Yeah, let's grab this. I think one of the interesting things is that they chose not to put a boss at the end of the stage. So with 2 minutes left, you fight a boss, and then you just have to survive the rest. Which I think is funny, because technically the way that this game is going right now... Oh, hey, we actually got up to level 7 on our faction. Sweet, so we're actually going to get new weapons. I think what's interesting is that technically the way that this game is playing out right now, the waves of enemies are tougher than the bosses or the elites. So the way it's set up actually makes sense, but the way I would expect it to work. Yeah, and see, we're dead here, which is what we're supposed to do. With the way that it lines up, you would expect it to be the other way around. So now we have the Destroyer's Axe. We have Titan Bow, which is now a lunar bow that we have. Altar of Endurance. Spirit Caravan during normal and shattered dark rituals. So we don't know what shattered dark rituals are yet. A caravan of spirits may pass through well protected and carrying rare treasures. We also have permanent stat increase. So we have 3 more rerolls. Armor items can now drop as exceptional rarity. Oh, so the one that we had before that had it was the plus rarities. I think that's why we're getting +1 armors now. We have a new artifact. Each time you primary attack, your attack speed is increased by 10%, stacking up to 10 times. If you stop primary attacking, the stacks are lost. Well, that's not going to be an issue when you're doing auto attackings. And then we got a new location, the Coastal Cave. So Altar of Endurance, you're going to give us bonus health. Okay, well, we're going to stack that up. And then, yeah, so we got up to level 7. Level 10 is going to give us an armor set bonus. Equip armor pieces from the same armor set to unlock different bonuses. Oh, hey, cool. Okay, so there's actually a reason. I was wondering about that. I was wondering if there was going to be a reason for actually having, like, named armor sets. Soul coins and a new... Oh, okay, I see. So the different sets... So each set is going to give us access to a top and a bottom, or at least for this. And then it's going to pick 3 random stats from these stats. And then, so I'm assuming exceptional random stats. So maybe if it's a higher tier item, you have the chance of getting an exceptional rare stat. Either way, this game is sweet. So that's where we're going to leave off this one. So you can see here, let's see. So do we have, so weapon sets. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of weapons to actually go and unlock. Right? There's only one more weapon we have to actually unlock. So I'm wondering how, like, this system is going to kind of flesh out. We only have one more armor set. Well, I guess it is an early demo, so probably it's just the fact that there's, like, not a lot of game left. So you can see here, like, there's races, events, so there's probably going to be more here. Probably, I would assume, just kind of like all these unlocks, there's going to be more of, more classes, of course. And then more areas. So you can already see they're kind of planning, like, there's these ruins, there's these ruins over here, but we can't do anything here. They don't do anything. It's just kind of a landmark. So I'd assume at some point later on, there's going to be more there. But this one is super, super cool. One thing I'm interested to see is how this map system, how it kind of plays out once the full game actually comes through, right? Because typically you have, you know, well, with typical bullet heavens, you have maybe like 4 or 5 maps, right? And then each map you can increase the difficulty of, whereas in this case, each map has a set difficulty to it. So I'm wondering how long the game is actually going to be, if there's going to be maybe an endless mode, or like how much gameplay is there going to be to justify getting all these different power-ups. That is something I'm interested to see how they actually implement. But other than that, I really like how this game is treating itself, right? It's treating itself a little bit more like an RPG as opposed to a more traditional bullet heaven that is just spending time upgrading your skills. You're actually spending time like upgrading your character. You only get like one weapon, which I guess the weapon system is something interesting, right? Because you only kind of have one. It's like your entire build, your entire run banks on you getting the weapon you want. Now, obviously, we have a bunch of rerolls, so once you get those rerolls, you can kind of more easily go for the weapon you want. So it's one of those things that, like, the class system, race system, I'm assuming there are going to be other races, especially if you put it into a menu, you know, like this. How that all works together once the game opens up a bit. I really only had like a couple initial complaints. The bosses not being super challenging. They just kind of stand there and spin around. That was kind of underwhelming. Some small tweaks to the UI, right? Like the movement and dash icons were kind of just like out in the middle of nowhere. I wanted to see them kind of like, I don't know, just something changed about them. I don't necessarily know what you would do. That's not really why I'm here. I'm here just kind of talking about my thoughts. The artifacts I would definitely not like to see, you know, tied into the abilities, either putting them up here with your currencies or maybe putting them down in a corner somewhere. Overall, it's not like a huge deal, right? Because it's not like you're seeing the cooldowns on your abilities at all, since there are no cooldowns, which is actually a kind of unique system. That you have one active ability and then you have, it looks like just one other passive ability, right? Because we took, let's see, so we took one power ability and then, yeah, we only had one passive ability. So basically you're going through with only 4 abilities, because we have a movement ability, which is totally fine, I think. I'm actually surprised. I'm wondering if later on there's going to be an ability to take a second passive ability. The way that the power ability works right now, I think you can only really do one, specifically because the question that I posed earlier, which was if you have an energy pool of 50, like I thought it was in when I was doing my test runs, you have an energy pool of 50, you charge that up, and then you have an energy cost of 40, and then let's say you take another power ability that now you have a 20 cost. Well, how does that work? Obviously, that's not how it works in this case, where in this case, the energy cost is just how much energy do you have to build, and then each of your attacks, depending on the weapon you have, generates a different amount of energy. So I'm assuming you can't do another power ability, but it's definitely possible that you could, I could foresee a way to get more passive abilities, which may be necessary as we get deeper into the game. There's already, a whole lot of landscape here that's open for new locations. Oh, there's even a ruins over here. I didn't see that one. So, with how big this map is, there's plenty of places to expand and continue on with the game. I don't even know how long the demo is, really. I was assuming it was shorter just because of, we kind of almost have everything unlocked here. But that being said, I think this one is a really, really sweet one to look at. I would suggest, if it is possible, like someone was suggesting in the comments on Asmongold's video, to the developer, probably put the NSFW stuff behind a DLC wall. From what I heard from that person, if you do that, you don't have to flag the game as being 18 plus and having the frequent nudity or sexual content on your game, which is going to be a barrier to entry for a lot of people. So if that's the case, I would definitely suggest doing that, so that way you don't have to worry about that, and just have it be, if you want that stuff in your game, you can download it separately. If that's not the case and you can't kind of separate it like that, then it is what it is. I don't think that it's necessary to have in this game, but I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of games out there that add nudity stuff that doesn't need it either. It is what it is. It is what it is, but that's just kind of what I would do to kind of, open it up to the most amount of people, because this is not, it's different if you're playing like Maid Survivors, right? Or what's the other one? There was another one I was looking to play. It was like Mystic Waifu Survivors or something. You play something like that, you know what you're getting into. Something called Conquest Dark, I wouldn't exactly expect it, but yeah. To each their own. But guys, more importantly, what do you guys think of Conquest Dark? Let me know down below in the comments section. And of course, do check out the demo. Link and all that will be down below in the description if you're interested. Of course, wishlist it. Helps out the devs. And this is one that I definitely want to see more from, and I'm excited to see what comes in the future. That's going to do it for me today. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed hanging out with me today, would you kindly smash that like button, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more roguelite content. I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.